The purpose of this video is to go over 2.6, question 33 on Wiley. And this is the chain rule problem. So you can see we have an overall outside function is something to the 7th power. And then we have a middle function. And then we have almost, we could say, another function. And then finally an inside function. So we have a function within a function within a function within a function. So as long as we kind of are careful with the way we go about it, it can be pretty clear, but inputting it into Wiley can be kind of tricky. So the derivative of the outside would be 7, whatever the inside is, to the 6th power. So I'm just going to write this cosine of sine of 11x all to the 6th power. And I'm going to talk about how to input this into Wiley. So the derivative of the outside evaluated at the inside times the derivative of the inside. So my next function is the cosine function. We know the derivative of cosine is minus sine. So I have minus sine, and I hold everything else the same. So sine of 11x times the derivative of the inside function. Well, the derivative of sine is cosine. So I have cosine of 11x times the derivative of the inside function here, which is 11x, which is 11. So simplifying this, I have minus 77, right? If I have this, this, and this, then I could say cosine to the 6th power of sine of 11x times sine of 11x times cosine of 11x. So I'm going to keep that in mind when I go to input that into Wiley and see if I can minimize this so I can see my answer as well. Let's see if I can. So I have minus 77, and then I can go ahead and get my form something to the 6th power. So this gets a little tricky. I know it's going to be to the 6th, right? So inputting this, I have cosine, and again, when you put in sine or cosine, it gives you the parentheses. It's kind of tricky that way, but cosine of sine of 11x. So that's the right form for that, times then sine of 11x. Then on the outside of that, cosine of 11x. And it shouldn't matter the order you put it in or what Wiley should it be, except if you don't simplify it, if you have minus 77 or minus 7, what we had up here, as long as you put it in correctly, but sometimes that can be kind of tricky. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this, see if it accepts it. And that should be good. So hopefully this video helps how to input into Wiley correctly. Please let me know if it's not clear, if you have any other questions. It's kind of tricky. As long as you understand, the important part is to understand how to go about writing this. And it can be a little tricky. And then putting it into the program can add a level of difficulty there. So hopefully this helps.